In what meteorologists are calling a once-in-a-decade weather event, New York City and the surrounding tri-state area have been blanketed by a massive winter storm that began late Friday, January 23rd, and continued with unrelenting force through Saturday, January 24th, 2026. The storm, fueled by a powerful nor'easter system that collided with an Arctic high-pressure cell, resulted in snowfall rates of up to 3 inches per hour. As of Saturday evening, Central Park recorded a staggering 26.4 inches of snow, nearly eclipsing the all-time record set in 2016. The National Weather Service issued a blizzard warning for all 5 boroughs, citing whiteout conditions and wind gusts exceeding 50 miles per hour. The combination of heavy, wet snow and high winds has turned the city that never sleeps into a surreal, silent landscape of white. The city's transportation backbone has come to a grinding halt. By midnight on Friday, the Metropolitan Transportation Authority suspended all outdoor subway service and commuter rails, including the Long Island Railroad and Metro North. Major hubs, including John F. Kennedy International, JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark Liberty, reported over 3,500 flight cancellations. For real-time updates on flight statuses, travelers are urged to check the FlightAware Live Tracker. Governor Kathy Hochul declared a state of emergency, implementing a travel ban for all non-emergency vehicles on major interstates, including the I-87 and I-95. Consolidated Edison, Con Ed, reported that approximately 140,000 customers across Queens and Staten Island lost power as heavy snow downed aging power lines and tree branches. Despite the disruption, many New Yorkers found moments of solace. In Central Park, thousands of residents, clad in heavy Gore-Tex and wool, ventured out to witness the transformation. Sheep Meadow became an impromptu battlefield for the city's largest snowball fight, while cross-country skiers were seen traversing Broadway. However, the city's Department of Homeless Services faced a critical challenge. A Code Blue was enacted, forcing an emergency mobilization to bring the city's vulnerable population into heated shelters. Mayor Eric Adams emphasized that no New Yorker should be left in the cold, as outreach teams worked double shifts to navigate the drifts. The timing of the storm, falling on a weekend, mitigated some of the lost productivity for office workers, but devastated the hospitality sector. Broadway shows were canceled for 2 consecutive nights, and the iconic dining scene in Manhattan saw a 90% drop in foot traffic. Economists estimate the 2-day shutdown could cost the city upwards of $600 million in lost revenue and snow removal expenses. As the storm system begins to move toward New England, the focus shifts to recovery. The Department of Sanitation has deployed over 2,000 snowplows and 6,000 workers to clear the 6,300 miles of city streets. Residents are reminded that under city law, property owners must clear snow from sidewalks within 4 hours after the snow stops falling, or by 11 a.m. if it stopped overnight. You can monitor the progress of snowplows in your neighborhood via the Plow NYC interactive map. Temperatures are expected to plummet further on Sunday, leading to concerns regarding flash freezing and dangerous black ice. Officials warn that while the snow may have stopped, the danger remains. Meanwhile, in one of the most devastating transit disasters in recent New York history, a massive multi-vehicle pileup involving over 40 cars and commercial semi-trucks occurred late Saturday afternoon on Interstate 181. The accident, triggered by a sudden whiteout during the peak of the 2026 winter storm, has resulted in multiple fatalities and dozens of critical injuries. The incident began at approximately 3:45 p.m. near mile marker 42, just north of the intersection with the New York State Thruway. According to the New York State Police, the initial collision occurred when a tractor trailer lost traction on a patch of black ice, jackknifing across 3 lanes of traffic. Due to the whiteout conditions, where visibility dropped to less than 10 feet, oncoming drivers were unable to see the obstruction until it was too late. Within minutes, a domino effect ensued as sedans, SUVs, and heavy-duty trucks slammed into the wreckage at highway speeds. First responders from across 4 counties were dispatched to the scene, but their arrival was severely delayed by the same snowdrifts that caused the crash. Emergency crews had to use snowmobiles and specialized tracked vehicles to reach the victims. Firefighters utilized the jaws of life to extract victims trapped in crushed vehicles. The extreme cold, reaching -15 degrees Celsius with wind chill, posed a secondary threat of hypothermia for those trapped. A temporary triage center was established at a nearby rest area. For those looking for information on hospitalized relatives, the Red Cross Emergency Contact System has been activated. Governor Kathy Hochul addressed the state in an emergency briefing late Saturday night. Our hearts break for the families who receive the news no one ever wants to hear. This stretch of the I-181 is notoriously dangerous during winter, and today's storm created a perfect storm of tragedy, the governor stated. While the exact number of fatalities has not been officially released pending family notifications, state police confirmed that at least 7 individuals were pronounced dead at the scene. Another 32 individuals have been transported to regional trauma centers, with 12 listed in critical condition. As of Sunday morning, a 30-mile stretch of the I-181 remains closed in both directions. Recovery teams estimate it will take at least 48 hours to remove the charred and twisted remains of the vehicles and clear the frozen debris. Motorists are strongly advised to avoid all travel in the North Country and Mohawk Valley regions. For real-time updates on road closures and traffic diversions, residents should use the New York 511 Travel Information System. The 2026 Great Whiteout has left a scar on the New York transit landscape. Beyond the physical cleanup, the psychological impact on the survivors and the first responders who witnessed the carnage is profound. Local mental health services have set up a 24-hour hotline for those affected by the trauma of the I-181 disaster. Meanwhile, the residents of Erie County are accustomed to heavy lake effect snow from Lake Erie. The catastrophic events of Saturday, January 24, 2026, have left the community in shock. A series of structural fires, directly triggered by the weight of the record-breaking snowfall and electrical failures, have destroyed multiple homes and a historic commercial block in downtown Erie. The disaster began in the early hours of Saturday morning. As the storm dumped over 30 inches of heavy wet snow within a 12-hour window, the sheer weight, referred to by engineers as snow load, caused a primary power feeder line to snap in the Millcreek Township area. The downed high-voltage line landed on a residential rooftop, causing an immediate electrical arc. The resulting fire was intensified by a chimney effect created by the high winds, which fanned the flames despite the freezing temperatures. By 10 a.m., the Erie Fire Department was battling 4 separate major blazes across the county. The most severe incident occurred on Peach Street, where a row of historic buildings collapsed under the dual pressure of fire damage and snow weight. Firefighters faced a nightmare scenario as most fire hydrants were buried under 4-foot snowdrifts. Crews had to spend critical minutes shoveling out hydrants before they could begin suppressing the flames. At -12 degrees Celsius, water from the hoses froze almost instantly upon hitting the ground, turning the fire scene into a treacherous ice rink and causing mechanical failures in 2 pumper trucks. Erie County Emergency Management reported that 15 families have been displaced. In a harrowing rescue near Presque Isle State Park, a local resident utilized a personal snowmobile to transport a family of 4 out of their burning home after a snowplow became stuck, blocking the only access road for fire engines. "We saw the orange glow through the whiteout," said Sarah Jenkins, a survivor. "We couldn't get the front door open because of the snowdrift, and the back of the house was already melting. We had to climb out of a second-story window into the snow." For those seeking to help the victims, the American Red Cross of Greater Pennsylvania has opened an emergency shelter at the Erie Insurance Arena. Investigations by Penelec, Pennsylvania Electric Company, suggest that many of the smaller residential fires were caused by improvised heating. As the power grid succumbed to the storm, residents turned to charcoal grills, portable generators, and aging space heaters. Fire Marshal Thomas Miller issued a stern warning. We are seeing a spike in carbon monoxide calls and vent block fires. When snow covers your furnace exhaust vents on the side of your house, it forces heat and toxic gases back into the home, leading to combustion. The damage is estimated to exceed $45 million. Local authorities are now facing questions regarding the resilience of the local power grid. Governor Josh Shapiro has requested federal aid, declaring Erie County a disaster zone to unlock FEMA funds for rebuilding.